I'd always imagined my dream home in Willow Creek Estates would be a sanctuary until the HOA president, Margaret, insisted I hand over copies of all my keys for emergency access. Her demeanor grew colder and more aggressive when I pushed back against her odd demand. It wasn't until I learned her college-aged son Ethan had been sneaking into homes across the neighborhood using keys collected by the HOA that I understood the real stakes. Standing on the porch of my newly bought Tudor-style house, the keys jangled in my hand. After 15 years of scraping by in my locksmith business, I'd finally made it my dream home, complete with a top-tier security system I'd designed myself. The brass knocker shone in the afternoon sun as I stepped inside for the first time as its owner. "Home sweet home," I murmured, admiring the hardwood floors and soaring ceilings. My phone buzzed with well wishes from friends. I'd earned this. Every lock, every deadbolt, every feature was the best in the business. I'd seen too many break-ins to skimp on security. I was unpacking dishes in the kitchen when the doorbell chimed. A woman stood outside mid-40s, with a sharp blonde bob and a clipboard, dressed in a peach blazer despite the summer heat. "Welcome to Willow Creek Estates." Her smile was bright but hollow. "I'm Margaret Thompson, HOA president, just stopping by to meet our newest resident." "Nice to meet you," I said. "I'm still settling in." "What a lovely home," she cut in, stepping into my foyer Union VY-TED. "The previous owners kept it pristine, though I see you've already swapped out the locks." Her comment prickled my nerves. "Yeah, I install security systems for a Lee VY-ing." She scribbled something on her clipboard. "Well, that's convenient. I'll need a full set of your keys: house, shed, gate for emergencies and maintenance." I froze, certain I'd misheard. "Excuse me." "It's standard," she said, her tone casual, like she was asking for a spare pen. "We keep master keys for safety." "I'm not comfortable with that," I replied, choosing my words carefully. "Privacy's a big deal to me, especially in my line of work." Her smile tightened. "It's in the bylaws. All residents provide the keys to the board. Safety first." Something felt off, but it was day one. I didn't want to fight. "I'll need to read the HOA rules myself first." "I haven't had time yet." Her grip on the clipboard tightened. "Of course, but don't take too long. Compliance is due within 7 days of move-in." As she left, a young guy early 20s spooled into the driveway across the street in a flashy car. He eyed us curiously. "My son Ethan," Margaret called out proudly. "Home from college for the summer. He helps with HOA property management. You'll see him around." Ethan waved lazily, but his stare lingered on my house, unsettling me. That night, I scoured the HOA covenant. No mention of mandatory key surrender, nothing. I checked again, then again. It only outlined emergency protocols involving direct homeowner contact, not master keys. Sleep didn't come easy. In 15 years as a locksmith, I'd never heard of an HOA demanding private keys. It went against everything I stood for. At 6 a.m., heavy footsteps on my porch jolted me awake. A neon orange violation notice was taped to my door: failure to provide the required key copies. Due law: 50 daily fine until compliance. Furious, I ripped it down. Through the window, I saw Margaret power walking the neighborhood, clipboard in hand, dressed in pricey workout gear. The next day, another notice arrived, alongside a VY-sit from my neighbor, Tom, a retired guy with a kind smile. "Don't let Margaret push you around," he said, helping me unpack. "She treats this place like her fiefdom. Half the neighbors are scared of her but demanding keys? That's not legal." "It's not even in the bylaws," I said. Tom sighed. "Most just cave. It's easier than fighting her. She's been president 8 years unopposed." As we talked, I caught Ethan washing his car across the street, staring at my house. When our eyes met, he grinned and kept looking. By day 5, the fines jumped to law 100 a day, and my mailbox was bashed in overnight. My new doorbell camera caught Ethan strolling by at midnight, inspecting my setup. I called a lawyer friend, Lisa, who confirmed, "This is bizarre and likely illegal. They've got no right to your keys." Armed with her advice, I wrote a letter citing state privacy laws and the missing HOA key rule, dropping it in Margaret's mailbox and adding more cameras to my property. The next morning, my tires were slashed, no proof, but as I waited for a tow, Margaret sauntered by. "Such a pity," she said, her voice dripping with fake concern. "Willow Creek used to be so safe before people ignored our rules." The threat was obvious. A week in, 3 board members showed up on my porch, nervous about my violations and accusations against Margaret. I invited them in, showing the bylaws, state laws, and the harassment timeline. This key thing, it's just tradition, not written, the treasurer stammered. Why does anyone need my keys? I pressed. They squirmed but said nothing. As they left, my elderly neighbor, Evelyn, whispered, "Be careful." Last year, the Carters refused to give keys. 2 weeks later, their house was broken into, nothing taken, but they handed them over after. Her words chilled me. That night, watching Ethan pull into his driveway, laughing on his phone, I wondered what the Thompsons were really after and why my refusal made me their enemy. 3 weeks later, the harassment escalated: broken garden lights, a spray-painted doorbell camera, more fines piling up to do law 2000, and threats of a lien. The police brushed me off. No evidence, no case. My business suffered as I missed jobs consumed by this fight. My dream home was a prison. Then Ethan knocked, grinning. Mom sent a barbecue and VYTE. Also, I locked myself out. Can you help? Mom said, "You're a locksmith." The ploy was laughable. I don't do house calls anymore, I said, shutting the door. Enjoy the barbecue, though. Heard most folks there wonder why you don't follow rules, he shot back. That night, I hid tiny cameras around my property, discreet ones in birdhouses and lawn decor. If they crossed a line, I'd catch them. I started walking the neighborhood, meeting people. Most were wary, but some opened up. Margaret always wins, a mom said. She made us ditch our kids' playset over 3 inches. A retired couple admitted they'd given keys years ago for emergencies. By the barbecue, I'd noticed a trend. Homes surrendering keys had fewer violations. Absentee owners, travelers, snowbirds were prime targets. At the event, Margaret played queen, spotting me and announcing, "Meet our security guru who thinks his house is a vault." The crowd tittered awkwardly. I sat alone until Tom joined me. Then Ethan appeared with a beer. "Peace offering." "Mom's intense, but she means well." "Does she?" I said. "Harassing me doesn't feel friendly." His mask slipped. "People who don't fit in here struggle." Before I could reply, Evelyn collapsed by the dessert table, heat stroke. As folks rushed to help, Ethan slipped away. I followed. He went straight to my house, trying the door, then a window. My hidden cameras were rolling. He gave up and jogged back. I beat him there, breathless, as an ambulance took Evelyn. Margaret cornered me. "Where'd you go?" "Bathroom," I lied. "Your fines are now due law 200 daily. Liens next week unless you comply." Her smugness was unbearable. That night, my cameras caught Ethan again, testing windows in the rain. At 3 a.m., I pieced it together. Break-ins hit homes of absent owners, tracked via HOA records. Then Evelyn called from the hospital. Someone broke in while I was gone. A man answered my phone. The next day, Tom texted, "Emergency board meeting tomorrow, your EVY tie-in." Enough was enough. I called Margaret. "I've reconsidered the keys. Can we meet?" She agreed, smug. That night, I had a locksmith pal craft fake keys, normal looking but useless, rigged to alert my system. When Margaret arrived, I recorded her admitting the keys were for Ethan's training and emergency entries. She took them gleefully. 2 nights later, Ethan tried them. My phone buzz cameras showed him fumbling, the keys failing, marking his hands with UV dye. I called the cops. He fled before they arrived, but I had footage. Margaret and Ethan vanished that night. Evelyn told police Margaret had run this scam for years, targeting homes with HOA keys. Detectives found 5 break-ins linked to key holders, brushed off by Margaret's security committee. Then cops traced the Thompsons to a motel, finding a laptop with home layouts, schedules, and loot lists, plus 2 accomplices, the treasurer and security chair. The mayor begged me to lead the HOA temporarily. I agreed reluctantly. At my first meeting, furious residents demanded answers. I shared my story and vowed to rebuild trust. EVY later revealed Ethan had copied keys at a locksmith job. Margaret and Ethan got 15 and 10 years. We rewrote the bylaws, no key demands ever. 6 months on, Willow Creek thrives, neighbors help neighbors, fear replaced by community. My dream home's finally home, thanks to saying no. Those fake keys? They're framed in the community center. Sometimes no unlocks a better future.